Hi everybody, I'm back. Long time no see, for reals. So this is a Powerpuff Girls concept fan art video. I drew these out and I'm making this video because Powerpuff Girls is going to be revived and coming out in 2016, so I'm excited about that, and so I decided to just draw out my own version of like the Powerpuff Girls. So let's start. So let's start out with the girls. So for the Powerpuff Girls, I took like some influences from different incarnations of them, like obviously the original series, Powerpuff Girls Z, and also I forgot what year it came out. I believe it was either last year or 2013. The Powerpuff Girls where it was like made with like flash animation, I believe. So that one, and also Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, if you guys watch that anime. If you're young, don't watch it, it's nothing. But if you're old enough, go ahead and check it out. So I decided to combine, took influences from each one of those kind of, those cartoons and try to make my own style out of it. But at first I tried to, this was my first version of, reinventing the Powerpuff Girls or making my own version of them. I started playing around with it a bit more. This, and I eventually came up with this. So I gave the girls fingers, feet, noses, and ears. So yeah, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. But yeah, let me talk about how I kind of changed up the girls a little bit. So starting off with the commander and leader, Blossom, I just gave her a side part, and I gave her the Venus treatment, as in Sailor Venus. So I got rid of her hair clip and just gave her a bow and gave her a half up, half down hairstyle. And that's it. Pretty much her dress is the same and her shoes are the same. For Bubbles, again, nothing really different about her clothes. She has the same matching dress as her sisters. Her shoes are the same, but her hairstyle, I kind of combined the Powerpuff Girls Z version of Bubbles, and also the upcoming Powerpuff Girls for 2016, where she has those I think those little ball things on her hair. Except for my version, I just gave her more ball things, so it kind of looks like those bubblegum balls where you would get them out in those machines for a quarter. But yeah, other than that, she looks pretty much the same. For Buttercup, again, her dress is the same, but I gave her instead of shoes like her sisters, Blossom and Bubbles would wear those ballet kind of slipper shoes. For Buttercup, excuse me, I gave her Chuck Taylors, just to differentiate her from her sisters a bit, to give her her own personality and make her stand out a bit more. And her hairstyle is just shaggy, short and shaggy mess with, oh my gosh, I stuttered. And I gave her a hair clip. But other than that, again, they all look pretty much the same, aside from, them having feet, noses, fingers, and ears now. So here are the girls. Now for the citizens of Townsville. Let's start off with the professor. So for the professor, his clothes, of how I drew him, how I drew his clothes, is pretty much the same. He still has the white lab coat, he still has the black pants and the black shoes and black tie and those pencil things and his pocket protector. But the only thing I changed about the professor was just how his body shape and his face, and I guess his hair as well. I tried playing around with different types of rectangular and square shapes on Photoshop for the professor's face, but he ended up just looking like Samurai Jack with a lab coat. So I mean, in the end product, he still looks a bit Samurai Jack-ish, but I just gave him a more angular face, and I gave him broader shoulders, and I made him kind of look a bit hunky, which isn't a bad thing to me anyway. So if you don't like it, sorry, not sorry. Now for the mayor, this is him. And I actually didn't change anything from my I didn't change anything from my sketch to like a final product. I actually really liked how he turned out in my sketch, so I just used that. The only thing I changed about the mayor aesthetically is his clothes, which actually, I don't know, maybe I should stop saying that because like I didn't change like anything too much. But color-wise, I just changed the mayor's pants to be the same color as his suit, because in the original series, the mayor had like a purple jacket with like yellow pants and an orange vest underneath. So this one I just like gave him like matching pants to match his jacket, and I gave him a pop of yellow-orange as his vest. And I just made his hair puff out a little bit. And for his mayor's hat, I just added like a purple like ribbon wrapping around his mayor's hat. So that's the mayor. For Miss Bellum, I changed like her body shape to, or like how it's, her body shape a little bit. And also like her clothes. This isn't what it looks like, but I tried like, playing around with different styles of what, what mayor's secretary or like assistant would look like. So at first I just gave her like rolled up sleeves, but I was like, it's not really much of a change. And then play around with this. And also, I played around like, try to give her like a vest, but she looked more like kind of like a news reporter instead of like, a mayor's assistant. So I settled for this one without the chain belt thing. So I just gave her like a red suit with a white undershirt, and for her shoes I just changed them to black. And the last citizen is Miss Keene. So I changed her quite a bit. I changed her head shape to make it a bit more proportionate, and for her style I gave her like a cardigan, and I gave her a headband, and I gave her a bracelet. But her hair is pretty similar. I just gave her like a side part, and I gave her like kind of like a spiky ends. But yeah, so here are the citizens of Townsville. Okay, now the villains of Townsville. So for the villain lineup that I decided to draw, because I didn't want to make every villain the Powerpuff Girls, that would be too much work. So I decided to just go with the B-Dolls. So Mojo, Princess, him, and Fuzzy. So I started off with Princess. Here she is. I kind of wanted to combine like Princess's mech suit from her debut in Stuck Up in a Way, and also like her current her just default like villainous attire, which is pretty much like the Powerpuff Girls uniform. But I decided to make it to like a mech suit because I saw like a clip on YouTube for like the announcement of the Powerpuff Girls, and it looked like Princess has like a completely different suit altogether. So I went with that, but I gave her more like contrasting colors, as in like I added more purple into her outfit. So she has like more jewels on her crown, and I also gave her like a jewel on her dress and also her boots. And I also decided to give her like a visor, because I always like wish they kept like Princess's visor with her, because I don't know, I just think it looks pretty cool. But other than that, yep, it's just Princess. And the next character that I worked on was him. Now him, I kind of combined, like I thought of like, I took influences from all these kind of like things like, so my version of him is basically a combination of Dr. Frankenfurter, him from the Powerpuff Girls, Corset from Pantene Stocking, and also that demon from Insidious. So decided to just like kind of mix those up. And yeah, so at first I was gonna have him shirtless with just having fur to make him look similar to his like true form, like in Speed Demon. But I was like, that's his true form, so it has to look much different in his like, I guess, in his not true form. And I also played around with his face shape. So I gave him more angular features, and I made his like his sideburns connect to his beard. And I also gave him like a spiky hairstyle. I gave him like kind of like the Kazuya Mishima hairstyle. And I gave him like a corset belt with like a giant H buckle with some studs on it. Gave him gave him some armbands, excuse me. And for his the fur on his clothing, I wanted him to look like, you know, like fire. So yeah, I just made like the fur on his like outfit more spikier, so it looks kind of like flames. And for his feet, I changed it to like crab claws as well, because I thought like, you know, I just thought it would look really cool. And in the end, I'm really happy with how he turned out. He's like drag queen rock star kind of like look. So yeah. And for Mojo Jojo, I didn't really change him up a bit, to be honest. I feel like he was the least character that he was the least changed character that I had to do for villain wise anyway. For his suit, I gave him just like a onesie suit. You know, as in like, no, it's just like the pants, because I felt like it would be awkward if he had that skirt thing and it's just like, you know, he has nothing down there. And I gave him like some designs on his boots and his gloves. And for his helmet, I changed it to look more like a brain, because that is like holding his brain anyway. So I made it, gave it some textures. And for like the helmet part, or like, you know, the middle part for his face, I made it look like a Greek helmet. So make it like, you know, point down. Give him a more kind of like angry look, so he looks pissed off all the time. So yeah. And for the last villain is Fuzzy Lumpkins. Now I really like how Fuzzy turned out. At first I wanted him to just look simplistic with like, you know, just like black dotted eyes and one of his overall straps like unstrapped. But I was like, that's too basic. So I played around with it a bit more. Decided to just like give him like some jeans and like a plaid shirt with like the sleeves ripped off and a cap. But I was like, that didn't work either, so played around with it a bit more, and I decided to give him like a mullet hairstyle, and lost the cap, made the shirt open, and gave him some torn up jeans. So he's more, yeah, and also gave him like, I made his hands and feet kind of like have no fur, so they're just like exposed like hands with like skin and stuff, because I think the Powerpuff Girls, he's supposed to be like a bear bug or something, but for my version I wanted him to look more Yeti, so he's like a swamp Yeti hillbilly. So anywho, here are the villains of Townsville. So I hope you guys like what I thought of. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed like drawing this and just like talking about it, because it's super nostalgic. Shoot, it's like one of my childhood like cartoons that I really enjoyed watching. So yeah, you can check these images out individually in my Tumblr. As always, I will put like the link in the description below. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Have a good day, afternoon, or whatever time you're watching this. À la prochaine fois. Peace out.